Welcome back to another exciting video from Cambriea and Bobby. In today's video, we are setting up our Christmas decorations 2024, baby. Oh yeah. So besides getting the yard ready, cutting the grass, making sure everything looks good before I start setting up, because once it's set up, guess what? You ain't cutting the grass. There's just too many power cords, too many guide wires with all the inflatables. So I made sure the grass is all good to go. And then I started working on building some arches. And that took a little bit of time because I only had enough supplies to do so many, so I had to go to the store and get some more. But my plan is to do 12 arches, and where these arches are is going to be a walkway, so you can actually walk through our yard and get up close to all these inflatables and decorations. Mainly because during Halloween, we had people walking through our yard and taking pictures with all the stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's not a bad idea. However, is dangerous because of all the guide wires and power cables on the ground. I don't want people tripping and getting hurt in our yard. So my thought is, if I give them a dedicated, safe path to walk through, that will eliminate all those concerns of people tripping and getting hurt. So I'm building these arches with a entryway and an exit. Whatever way you come in, the other way is the way out. So that is what I'm working on here, is getting these arches all up. And yes, it's like a horseshoe tunnel essentially. But like I said, I had to go to the store to get more stuff to finish these 12 arches because I only actually had enough for 8. And if you're wondering how I built these arches, it's very simple. It's PVC you can get at the hardware store. SCH-40, they're 480 PSI PVC tubing that you use with like sprinkler systems. And yeah, I just used 2 10-foot sections with the center connector just to connect them. So it's like a total of 20 feet length, and then just some rebar in the ground to hold them in place. All right, the house is all done. Freya, do you love your house? She's drawing her house right there. So, finished adding the candy canes on the ends, all 4 corners, and we added 2 sets of lights. These lights, well, it's 2 strands, but they connect together. So these lights we took off of the ho-ho-hos that we had on the roof. They got damaged during the hurricane. And these were the only 2 strands that survived out of all those strands. So, yeah. So no ho-ho-hos on the roof this year. But, like I said, these lights survived. And so we wanted to put them on the house here. Lights inside. But I wanted to show you what it looks like now, because once I put it outside, I'm not going to have it hooked up to power until we're ready to start, lighting everything up. So this is just so you get to see it. But there we go. That's our gingerbread house all done. And here's the start of us setting up the inflatables. And the reason why we're setting up the biggest ones first is I like to have like anchor points, I call them, in the yard. And the 20-foot-and-a-half snowman family is definitely an anchor point because this thing takes up a lot of space. So we wanted to get it in the correct position, and then we kind of build off of that. And that's kind of how we just go about this whole process. And if you can't tell, setting these big guys up is not easy, especially when we got some wind out. For me and Cambriea to set these up was kind of a pain in the butt. And I recommend if you have these giant 20-foot inflatables, the more people you can have helping, the better. So we were able to wrestle this one up and get it all good to go, but it definitely fought us a little bit. And you'll see us really get in a fight from when we set up our other 20-foot Santa and Mrs. Claus inflatable.
Love it. Yeah? Is it fun?
And here we go. This is our new inflatable that Cambriea got. Remember in the other video where she surprised me? That's these inflatables right here. And it looks like there's two of them, but it's really just one inflatable. But they're both 20 feet tall. And essentially in the wind, this is a giant sail. So once we get these guys up, you're going to see us fighting these things, trying to, get them in position. Look, I mean, they're just flopping all over the place in the wind. So it's like one of us is trying to get the guide wires in the ground and also hold it. And since these guys have their feet aren't as, wide, their base isn't as big as the snowman family. And so they were sliding out from under us, flying. I mean, you can just see it's just all over the place. This one, we definitely could have used the boys' help, but they were at school, and that's why you don't see them out here. But we got these guys all set up only to when I was doing some fine tuning of everything, making sure everything was anchored in the ground, to find out we got to move them. And we had to move them because it was just too close to the house. So when they go down, they were falling on our roof, and I didn't want them to get all cut up from the roof and the house. So we waited till the boys got home, and we just had to move them just forward, basically. So nothing too crazy, but needed to be done. And here we go. Here I am setting up the reindeer. It's also another 20-footer. And I was able to do this one by myself. The start of the gingerbread village. So when we got the idea of turning Freya's playhouse into a gingerbread house, it was mainly because Cambriea saw it on, TikTok or whatever. But also I saw we have multiple inflatables, and then we got this new one right here. And I'm like, why don't we just do a village setup? It'll look really cool. And it'll just go we'll just have a whole group. I found the metal signs and these inflatables here at Walmart. So we just said, let's just do a whole village. And yeah, we just ran with that idea. Now this reindeer I'm setting up here, I do end up moving him later, but whatever. As you set stuff up, you throughout the day, you do move things. And it just happens. You're like, oh, yeah, this seems good here. And then you look around and you set some more stuff up and you're like, you know what? It would be better over here instead. So, yeah, you may see that reindeer move to the other side of the yard. But, no big deal. And I figure you guys don't need to see me moving all that stuff. It's more fun watching all these inflatables go up and whatnot. So yeah, you can see all the big ones in the background going up as I'm setting up this guy. And yeah, that one was new. The North Pole one's new. And then this is one that we got to replace our old penguin inflatable that we had last year. We retired it at the end of last year. So we got this new one for this year to kind of replace that one. And then as I'm looking at it, I'm like, we got a heck of a gap here. I'm going to try to fit one of my other inflatables. And I figured what goes hand in hand? A Christmas tree next to Santa. And I mean, I do have one more 20-foot inflatable. It's a Nutcracker. I just figured the Christmas tree made more sense than putting the Nutcracker here. And this tree fills this area perfectly. So, yeah, you can see me. I did it all by myself because it has a wide base. And that just made it a heck of a lot easier to set up. So one of the reasons why I moved you'll see I moved the little reindeer over here is because this is where I figured we have the reindeer barn would go perfect with the giant 20-foot reindeer right back there. So we put the reindeer barn over here, and then I end up moving that little reindeer guy over to this spot because, let's keep all the reindeer together. It appears the ducks have a friend. Oh no, he's going away. Oh, well, they had a friend for a minute. Back in the front yard I go. So you can see now that little reindeer, I got him over here. And then I'm looking at the rest of the inflatables and I'm like, all right, we got Sven and Olaf. That's, he's a reindeer. We could put them over here too. So I was just trying to keep like items kind of together, or if they were in the same category, Elf on the Shelf, they got all the animals and stuff. So the different Elf on the Shelf with the Saint Bernard and the snow fox and stuff like that. Trying to keep items like that together, I figured it just made more sense. Putting elves next to Santa, that makes sense. You go to the mall or wherever Santa's set up to go tell them what you want. They usually got some elves by them. So, I just put them together then. And back to the gingerbread village I go, setting up more gingerbread inflatables. And you place it and then you're like, oh, well, let's move it. So thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we have a lot more Christmas decorations to put up. So make sure you hit the bell and and we'll see you next time we hopefully get this all finished. Bye.